Hello everyone, my name is Idiotic Synergy and today we are going to talk about the most famous and well-known world eater about, Zhufor the Impaler. Okay, maybe that statement was a lie, he isn't that well known, in fact Khan and Angron overshadow him by a lot, but I think it's important to talk about this little guy. So, who is Zhufor the Impaler? Zhufor the Impaler started life as a loyalist space marine. He wasn't even in the World Eaters Legion. In fact, he was in the Stormlord chapter, which, for those of you that don't know, the Stormlord chapter is a successor chapter of the White Scars. So he was pretty goddamn loyal to the Emperor. And his name wasn't even Zhufor at this time. His name was Bullsack. I'm not kidding, his name was Bullsack. That's how it's written. I don't know how else to pronounce it. I'm going to get a lot of pronunciations wrong this video. But this was Bullsack. And he was a sergeant. So Sergeant Bullsack, pretty loyal fella, got captured by the World Eaters during a fight on a hive world. Which is pretty rare for the World Eaters to even do, because you see with the World Eaters, they're pretty much blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. Everybody's going to fucking die. That's what they do. They go in, murder everyone, leave. They don't really take prisoners, but they saw Sergeant Bullsack and go, hey, we've got a plan. And they took him back, and then they MK Ultra'd him. They basically pumped him full of drugs, brainwashed him, and beat the shit out of him. And it worked. The reason they brainwashed this guy is to make him a Cornate Berserker. But brainwashing Sergeant Bullsack to believe that it was now a Cornate Berserker called Zhufor, it was a good news, bad news situation for the World Eaters, because good news, they got this brand new Cornate Berserker. And he thought he was blessed by Khorne himself, so he just murdered everyone, which was great. He rose through the ranks, he got new weapons, got new gear, he even challenged a word bearer to a fight and got his claw through killing a word bearer Chaos Lord when he was an exalted champion. And things were going great for the World Eaters, because it was like, holy shit, look at this guy go. That was until he reached the rank of Chaos Lord. When he got given his own little warband, Zhufor immediately betrayed the World Eaters and took on the allies of the World Eaters, known as the Skull Takers. He killed the Chaos Lord and then just became in charge of the Skull Takers. Then with his new warband, he fucked off to Abaddon, and then, yeah, it pretty much was like, haha, thanks and fuck you, and then just left. Zhufor is a prick. Let me just say that now. Zhufor is an incredibly petty prick, and I kind of enjoy that. He underwent all this brainwashing, and then went, you know what, I don't even need the World Eaters, fuck you, and left, and joined Abaddon of all people to basically get more equipment for his lads. And then he got involved with a small battle known as the Siege of Varax. I don't know how you pronounce this. Again, my pronunciation on stuff is god-awful, but the Siege of Varax is a huge chunk of Warhammer lore. It is fucking massive. There's lots of shit going on. There's planets, there's chapters, there's intrigue, there's a shit ton of characters. All of those will probably have a separate video at some point. Covering the Siege of Varax is a giant undertaking. It would take multiple videos. So, if you bear with me, I'm just going to focus on the things that Zhufor did, because it's pretty interesting. So, during the Siege of Varax, Zhufor and his Skull Takers helped the traitor guard on Vax Prime before Zhufor got bored with how things were going, because it became a giant battle of attrition, because they were fighting Deathcore Krieg as well as a few other loyalist space marines on the planet. And instead of killing loyalists, he then went to another warband that was on the planet and challenged the Chaos Lord of that warband to a fight. Zhufor killed the Chaos Lord and had an even bigger warband. But that still wasn't enough for Zhufor, so he went to some demonic summoners called the Sanctified and told them how they could summon Angrath the Unbound, which is a giant demonic demon prince of Khorne, and is really good in game. Honestly, bring him in game, he's fucking great. And obviously the summoners were like, holy shit, thank you for this, and then joined him. But there's still more. Zhufor wanted the biggest warband on the planet, so he challenged a Black Legion warband and killed their Chaos Lord as a way to show off to the other warbands on Thrax that Zhufor was indeed the best. And with his newly bulked out Skull Takers, he turned Vax Prime into a demonic world for Khorne, and with Zhufor as the leader. However, that didn't last, because the Deathcore Krieg got involved and managed to start pushing back against the forces of chaos. Zhufor then got involved with the killing with his Skull Takers, and he did kill a Commissar General and displayed their corpse on his Terminator armor as a way of going, aha, I've killed your leader, aren't I the best? But that probably just pissed off the Deathcore Krieg, if anything. Krieg was pushing forward with artillery bombardments, lots of dead, but they had lots more alive. About, I think, 8 million people died. It was basically a normal Tuesday for the Deathcore Krieg. They had more men than they had bullets, and Zhufor and his Skull Takers retreated into the warp using a portal created by some of those demon summoners within his warband, and then that's it. He fucked off. You would be mistaken if you think Abaddon would have killed Zhufor or excommunicated him for killing his Black Legion warbands. You would be mistaken if you think the World Eaters gave a shit about Zhufor's treachery. Abaddon kept Zhufor around for his 13th Black Crusade, and it baffles me as to why, because Zhufor is a traitor. He just kills Chaos Lords to get a bigger warband, and Abaddon's just like, oh, this is fine. This won't at all backfire on me. Oh dear, I do like Zhufor. His plan is a simplistic one. Kill the Chaos Lords, get a bigger warband, that's it. As long as he's doing murder for Khorne, he's happy. And he's a bit of a knob, but I do like this character. And he is funny to read about, because he just murders absolutely everyone. It's like, oi you, aren't you on my side? Nah, I don't care mate, give me your warband. It's really good. He is really cool. Also, one other thing about this character is that you can use him in game. And he is so underrated. Use him in game, you bastards. Why don't you? He's a better Chaos Lord. Oh, but you have Khan. Use Zhufor. Zhufor is so good. Right, on screen are his rules, and they are great. He's got a really cool bolter. The claw is times to his strength, so he's got a strength 10, AP -3, damage 3 power fist with no minus effect, so you hit on 2s. He has 6 attacks, +1 for charging in. You can use all the Wordbearer stratagems on him. He can reroll 1s made for any friendly near him. He's got a 4-up invulnerable save, a 2-up regular save. He's got an icon which fucks with morale. I know morale doesn't matter all that much in Warhammer 40k. And he can deny psychic powers just by being pissed off. He's great. Take him more. He's a good model. I like this character. I like this model. If I was playing World Eaters, I would have a Skull Takers army, because this guy is underrated. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments that you liked it. Maybe even hit the like button. I have a Ko-fi as well, where you can donate, but usually I use it just for writing daft Warhammer stories. So if you've got a model that you would like me to write a backstory to, then let me know. I've been Idiotic Synergy, and I'll see you next time.